Hope everybody's having a great start to the week. It is a scorcher out there right now. Last week I was outside. Today, a little bit too hot for me, so I am back inside. So, what has been going on? Aside from the usual check-ins, I don't know. Life is pretty good right now. I was a big fan of this diagram, this chart I made in my last video. Feeling pretty good about that one. I thought that was a pretty slick move. So, how are things going? What can we expect from the channel in this next week coming forward? Well, it is a good one. We have our first kind of specialized video coming up this week. Probably Saturday, maybe Sunday. It's where we talk about the foods that that I am avoiding in my weight loss, and the foods that can hopefully you guys can avoid, that will hopefully help you move on in your weight loss journey yourselves. Golly, it's good, especially when you think about how everything has just gone over this past year, 2024. I still can't believe just how much time has gone by. That is, to me, that's wow. That's pretty exciting. So yeah, life is good right now. Feeling good. Feeling the pressure of the weight loss, the pressure of the videos, but it's a good feeling. When I started this journey, I committed myself to one video a week. Of course, we are starting to kind of increase a little bit as the channel is growing. We're now over 400 subs, so that is definitely something that I very much enjoy seeing. I love seeing that number grow. Definitely didn't expect that to happen, so really excited about that. And yeah, the 5K has also gone down pretty well. Lots of encouragement from you guys, so thank you all very much for that. But yeah, over these next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be in training for that. I'm gonna be working hard. Gonna be out there pounding the streets, getting my steps up, getting my heart rate going, and getting into some good shape. And hopefully, doing that training will also aid the weight loss as well. Maybe speed things up a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. My goal next week, hopefully, to get down below the 240s. I've noticed that there's been a little bit of a slowdown, maybe, I guess, if that's the right word. But I'm feeling good about that. So definitely fingers crossed that's where we're going to be this time next week. Yeah, so from the 230s down to the 220s and down to the 210s. My 210s, I've got something, I'm very excited about that one for a reason that I will share when I'm down there. Yes, feeling good. Hopefully sometime, maybe October, I think that's probably a fair guess, fair estimate of when I'll be down there. So yeah, keeping fingers crossed that that's how everything's gonna be. These live streams are getting pretty easy, or easier, should I say, because when I first started, I was very nervous, kind of thinking on the spot. But overall, it's been going really, really well. Getting a little bit better about it. And it's just a fun way to connect with you all and to just hear what you guys have to say. I've been getting some feedback on my cooking video or my preparing my meal. It wasn't really cooking involved, but that had some really good feedback. Really, really pleased to see that kind of going the way it has. And I'm glad to see that people are trying out the recipes, and so far people are liking them. So very much thank you all for that. What's the plan for tonight? What's on the menu? I think I'm going to be making a rice bowl, maybe some ground beef, some rice, some beans. Maybe I'll film it. We'll see about that. You guys seem to like that. So what this is all about is just about making easy things, easy choices, easy changes that can hopefully translate to everybody's kitchen, no matter where you are. I try and think of stuff that anybody can use and won't be restricted to one place, here. That's kind of the goal. That's what I like to do. I like to help people out, regardless of geographic location or whatnot. But yeah, it's feeling pretty good about that. And yeah, life is just trucking on by right now. When I think about, where I was, at the beginning of the year, looking at that board over there, how far along we've come is just mind-blowing. I think to myself, wow, that is some good progress. That is pretty crazy. So let me just change that up so we can see that whiteboard in the background. Yeah, that number's gone down in a big way. So very, very excited about that. That makes me really happy for sure. Yeah, last week was the day before the 4th of July. It was the third when I got on the live. I had some good plans going for the barbecue. Had some good conversation as well. So yeah, today hopefully no different. Hopefully we get some good feedback, some good conversation going in here. It's always what I very much enjoy that about the lives. You kind of have an opportunity to talk to people just straight off the bat without having to reply, and it's just good. I think you guys like seeing my reaction, so I very much yeah, that puts a smile on my face for sure. But yeah, going back to that board, golly, that number is just mind blowing. I am when I get down to 236 pounds, that'll be 90 pounds down. 90 pounds in a year is that's no small feat. That's no small number, that's for sure. Yeah, very, very excited about that. Maybe, hopefully, we'll get down to over 100 pounds lost this year. I've got plenty of time left, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we're just gonna cruise on into this. But yeah, feeling good about that. Feeling excited. Subscribers as well, we're going up pretty good. Just on Monday we were at 399, and now we're at 403 or something like that. So that's good. I like that. I like seeing that growth. So one of the things that I've been wanting to kind of talk about a little bit is just how we get through the regular grind of the day, right? We all have jobs, we all have things that we have to do. Sometimes it's just really difficult to keep that focus when you've got people at work and they're going through their routines and their diets, and there's always that one person that wants to bring something in for the office, and that's a lot of takes a lot of mental willpower for sure. Something that initially I didn't have any of. But over time, slowly but surely, I've kept you guys kept honest with the pictures of, hey, this person brought this in, I didn't give in to that. But this year, in all honesty, hasn't been very difficult. I've been able to indulge and enjoy myself, which has been really, really good for me personally. I've really been able to like just enjoy myself, to have really good food and good time. I've been able to keep drinking the drinks that I like, but it's all about that moderation, which is something that I just didn't have. I had all the makings of it. I just couldn't quite get around to figuring out those. How do I say no? How do I say no? Is I think one of the things that gets most of us. What can we do that will just keep us honest and keep us on that path moving forward? But yeah, so if that's something that you guys have found, or you guys have done this kind of journey as well in the past, I'd love to hear what it is that you guys do to keep you honest, to keep you moving. Yeah, I'm just feeling really optimistic right now. Recently, it's just been a very, very good time and very exciting time. We've had so many good things happen, good things where I can just come out and share with you guys and say, hey, this happened, and there's always some great support coming from you guys. So very, very fond of that. The support really kind of keeps me going. I say that a lot, but yeah, very much so. Very supportive group, and yeah, it just makes me think back to that conversation that I stress in all of my videos. Is this year, am I gonna cross over to that 1,000 subscriber threshold? Got to get those watch hours up. I'm at 720 hours as of and from what the board is telling me. So hopefully we can get that up as well. No problem. But yeah, this isn't so much about the monetization. The monetization was initially nothing, it wasn't on my mind at all. But now that I'm looking at it and I'm starting to see those numbers, I'm thinking, wow, this is a possibility. It's a probability. If we keep growing the way we are, the sky's the limit here. And the goal of the channel has always been just to help people, and to help people by just being honest. Get on the scales. If it's a bad week, it's a bad week. If it's good, it's good. If I'm cooking good food, I'm gonna share it. If I'm gonna have a bad week, I will share that as well. And I've got to say, this is probably kind of the most honest I've been in terms of my weight loss, because sometimes I think that at least I've been guilty of painting a brighter picture than may actually be going on. So just sharing that and just saying, hey, I wasn't good, or hey, I was good. You take the good with the bad, and that's definitely something that I've been really trying to focus on. And the YouTube world, all you guys watching, you've done such a wonderful job of just making me feel like, hey, you're going in the right direction, or hey, you might want to try this, or it's just so many kind and positive forces just pushing me along here, and that's definitely something that I very much enjoy. So loose skin as well. We're kind of darting around all the topics here. The loose skin was something that for the longest time just got me. I was so nervous and scared, and starting to see it. I'm like, But then I'm like, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'd rather have the loose skin than not, because that shows progress. Definitely. The loose skin, the plateau. Again, I was talking about that a lot. Yeah, just kind of wondering what is going to happen, when is it going to happen? And as you guys may or may not have seen in my last video, I talked about the plateau and how I plan on beating it. At the end of the day, we've got these things, these plateaus, and drawing diagrams, excuse me, drawing diagrams, but you just gotta, there's just action. You just gotta take on that plan. You gotta run with it, and hopefully this plan that I've drawn up of gradually decreasing my calories, increasing my movement, hopefully that's going to keep me on the straight and narrow right until I get down to my goal, which hopefully is going to be, fingers crossed, should be December. So if everything goes well, I'm going to be a really happy camper for sure. Yeah, but like I said, honesty and just keeping yourself open to the fact that this is a long journey. I think about it. I've been overeating and unhealthy eating for years, well over 10 years. And so for the fact that I've been able to erase a good chunk of that within half a year, that makes me feel really good about myself, makes me feel really proud of what my body's been able to achieve. And so I would definitely, I can't stress that enough. Try it out. Try out. Just making those little changes in your life, because they will pay out in dividends. Regardless of whether or not we hit that plateau that I talk about, it don't matter. We're just here. We're just trying to get healthy. So I've been on a pretty stringent diet these past few weeks in a big way, and that's just really been keeping me laser focused. Really been cutting back. I was talking about the cheat meals and stuff, but I haven't really been having those lately. And with the exception of the 4th of July, which I was still, I think, in a 400 calorie deficit, which is, for me, that was like, whoa. Because usually on the cheat meals, I come pretty close, I still stay in a deficit, but I'm still pretty close to that. But yeah, I've been cutting back on that, and that's been a good feeling. Just to be able to say, you know what, I want it, but I'm going to say no. Which is, again, something that I've struggled with for a very long time. Just being able to say, nope, don't want it, I'm good. So yeah, with how I've been feeling, it's just made me want to it's just been giving me kind of fuel to just go and to ramp up my efforts. But in all of this, I keep stressing, and I can't stress it enough, that you've just got to listen to your body, because your body is the best indicator. You can go to the doctors. I recommend that you go to the doctors, and you can do all of these things. But at the end of the day, whatever you need, chances are your body can tell you. If you're feeling drowsy, if you're feeling tired, you might be dehydrated. If you're feeling hungry, you're hungry. Now, there's certain times when your body's telling you, I'm hungry, but you're not. So it's all about just kind of like understanding, your body. I've felt that a couple of times right after a meal where I felt hungry and I thought, you know what, I should have some more. Then I realized, well, am I hungry? Or am I just kind of being tricked here, like mentally? And so I've learned to pretty much separate, the real hunger from the not so real. So you'll get that over time for sure. Those of you who are on this journey and who are kind of struggling with those thoughts and those feelings, you'll get it. I promise. You'll get it honed in pretty well. I'm still learning for sure. The things like the she shed, the same applies whether you're losing weight or whether you're building a she shed. You're going to learn and you're going to make mistakes. But the trick is to just not give up just because you've made a mistake. And so that's what I'm trying to learn every day. I've had a couple of times, or just the once where I got on those scales and I gained a little bit more weight. I could have gone back to the old behavior and said, nah, I just want to give up. But you stick through it and it'll pay out. Like I said, your weight and your health, it is so important to listen to what your body tells you. And your body will reward you for good behavior. Now, I'm going to change the subject a little bit, because my wife has also had these things, these plateaus where she's been on some really good health kicks, and just seeing that weight stick right where it is has really damaged the self-esteem. And it has to me as well. I'd be lying if I said it hasn't in the past. But in this time around, I'm just taking an approach of, what will be, will be. I know where my numbers are, right? I know where my calories are. I know what I'm eating. I know the foods that I'm consuming. So I know that what I'm doing is better than where I was. I know that what I'm doing is almost a complete 180, if not a complete 180. And like I said, I've still been able to enjoy it. Sorry, hey, it is great to hear from you. You, my dear, are awake. It's very early where you are. So thank you very much for tuning in. How's it going? How you feeling? I hope that you're not too tired to respond. So if that's all I hear from you, I'd understand. But it's great to have you here. Any topics that you'd like to discuss? Because the floor is yours. Anybody who watches has a say in these, which is one of the things I love about the lives. Because we just go all sorts of places. It's definitely very, very the lives are definitely a lot of fun. Definitely, they sometimes get fun and out of control, which I love. I love getting 3 or 4 folks on here just chiming in and sending some messages. Definitely, that makes my day because sometimes I can just sit back and we'll get some conversations going. And yeah, they're always fun and always very supportive, which I like. As you can tell, I'm starting to get a little tan here. I've got the arms. They look like upper arms look like milk. And down here it's looking pretty tan because it's heating up. Right now it's I think 105 or 106 degrees, so it's pretty hot. I don't know what temperature that is in Celsius. I'm sorry for that, but yeah, you're feeling the heat for sure. You're out there for a few minutes, you start to get a sweat going. That's a workout right there. It's almost 3 a.m. here, tired but not too much. 3 a.m. I can't tell you the last time I woke up at 3 a.m. It was probably to catch a plane somewhere because I have a comparatively my job I get up at 6 and that's good. I'm fine with that. I used to get up at 4. That was rough. 4 was really rough. No matter how much sleep you get, I think there's something about waking up at that time where your body's like, nobody else is awake. I shouldn't be either. So kudos to you. That is very impressive. So if you want to respond, I'll give you some time to respond. But yeah, that board, that is really, yeah, that is just that puts a smile on my face for sure. Sorry, I know that you've seen my last video. Hey, I wanted to see, what did you think about the diagram? The diagram of Bill here, the guy who's trying to lose weight but hit the plateau. I thought it was fun. Had a little fun with the drawing there, but I thought that the logic was sound and good. Basically, how our bodies are super good at becoming more and more efficient as the time progresses, as the weight loss progresses, and your health and your fitness improves. To just staying one step ahead of that, anticipating that your body is going to be adapting really, really well to those changes. Almost 90 pounds down. I mean, I'm starting to feel a lot of changes myself. The biggest changes that I felt, admittedly though, have been in my clothing. Definitely looser clothing for sure. I'm already in need of probably some newer work pants. I've already shaved off 4 inches. I went from a size 42 down to a 38. And from a 38, I'm going to be down to 36 here pretty soon. I'm not sure how well that translates over to European sizes. I think it's pretty similar. I remember clothes shopping when I was a kid. It's pretty similar, I think. But I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so it's been an exciting few weeks. With that weight loss of last week, that was definitely a pretty cool one. So close to being in the 230s. That's a big moment for me. So with that being said, 90 pounds almost. That's a big amount of weight. That's chunky weight. And then if you think about it, I'm still obese. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm under no illusions here. It's crazy when I think about it. When I stop and I put into perspective, I can lose 100 pounds and I still will be obese. Not a bad thought. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not sad about it. It's just when you stop and you think about how much, dang, I really let myself go. It kind of puts things into perspective. And my goal in life now is to make sure that I never get back to even close to where I was. My goal is probably going to be no more than 180. I think once I get down to my preferred weight, my goal weight of 175, who knows? I might shoot for a lower number than that, but 175, that's my goal. And I think once I get down there, I'll be able to gauge better on whether or not I want to lose more, whether or not I want to stay there. But I think 175 is going to be golden. So we'll see. We'll see for sure. But yeah, that is definitely something that's been on my mind a lot. I spend a lot of time at night just kind of thinking, where am I gonna be? What am I gonna be doing? So it's definitely taken up a lot of time and time up here in the old noggin for sure. Yeah, and kind of yeah, puts things into perspective. I don't know. So for you, sorry if you're responding. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be asking you another question. So how is the job treating you? How is the gym? How is the health? I want to hear all about the life. And then maybe you can tell me a little bit. Maybe I can learn something. Because I always say, I don't know. I know less than I don't know. And I think most of us, hopefully, if we're smart, we understand that. But I feel like if we can all trade a little bit of knowledge, we'll come out better on the other side. And if there's one thing I know about the folks on here on the Getting My Life Back channel, it is that you are full of inspiration, of great ideas, of good encouragement. And so hopefully we can just grow and share and see. I've already seen it on these lives. I see it on the comments. People are liking each other's comments. People are commenting under each other's comments. That's a lot of comments. But it is a great, great place to be. It makes me really glad that I started this channel for sure. One of the things that really got me about seeing other people's YouTube channels on weight loss is I always seem to catch them after the fact, after they dropped that weight. And so for me, it was really hard to kind of get into that because I always saw the finished product, and it was really hard for me to kind of say, well, I just don't feel like I can relate to you the same way. Not that was a bad thing, I encourage everybody to try this for sure. But for me, it was like, it was really tough. So I liked starting this from the absolute worst that I've ever been. I've loved that. I've loved that people have hopped on here and saying, I really appreciate when you started this. I really appreciate you kind of sharing your weight loss journey from the beginning, from the get-go, which has been really good because, like I said, I feel like that's lacking. A buddy of mine on here, his name's Doug. He weighed, I think, 630 pounds when he started. Hats off to him. I haven't seen him upload a lot recently. In fact, a lot of the people that I tried to subscribe to in the beginning, I felt like a lot of people have maybe just lost the focus a little bit. And that's been tough to see because I get that feeling 100%. But it's a shame to see people, just feel like it's not working for me. This channel started 100% for me. It was selfish, like, don't get me wrong. I wanted to help people, right? But the goal here was to keep me accountable. And so I wanted to get somewhere on a public platform that I just had no experience in and say, let's do it. Let's do it together, right? And you guys hold me accountable, and I'm just going to upload these videos. And in the beginning, they weren't very good. I don't know if they're still very good now, but I try. And that's all weight loss is. It's trying, right? Because we all know what the formula is for weight loss. I stress it in all my videos. Eat less, eat healthy, and move more. I'm certainly eating less, certainly eating healthier, and certainly moving more. And so far, that whiteboard is the proof. Those pictures that I show of me on the scales, that's the proof. So it works. The formula works. Now, one of the things that I talked about in my last video is, and this was kind of related, it was, if you go onto 100 different websites, you'll get 100 different answers. And that's the same thing about weight loss, but the fundamentals are the same. It is all the same. It's what I preach in all of my videos, where we just talk about making better choices, right? And those better choices, it's like investing. It will compound and grow over time. I guarantee it. I stand by that. I'm no doctor, so please don't sue me. But yeah, I stand by it because every day or every week, I get on that scale and I see just made a sweet potato slash beef. Sorry, just made a sweet potato beef slash turkey. I'm sorry about that combo bowl. Kevin, good job, my man. I'm so proud and so excited to hear that you are just doing so well, my friend. Really, you're doing such a great job. How was it, man? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Because I am just dying to hear. I love hearing from you guys when you report back after trying my recipes or talking about the foods that you guys are eating. I love it. So please keep those coming because I really enjoy it. And Kevin, seriously, good job, man. Good job. I'm so proud of you for doing that. It's amazing how you just keep going week after week, but you also see the result. You're absolutely right. Something that I talked about in my videos, somebody asked me, hey, are you keeping measurements? Well, the only measurement that I really keep is my weight. The pictures, the videos that you guys see, that is my proof. I'll go back. And one of the things that you guys will probably notice that I've started to do in my thumbnails is I've just started saying, you know what, screw it. I'm going to put my body out on the thumbnail. And so when I'm creating my thumbnails, my go-to is putting me on week 1, and then I'll put my current week side by side, and I'll look and I'll say, whoa, that's crazy. It was insanely good. Losing weight after plateauing, finally. That's what I love to hear, Kevin. Great job. So I gotta ask, if you wouldn't mind sharing, how long was your plateau? And now your weight, your weight's coming down. Did you have a good weight loss week? Were you in a number that you were happy with, satisfied with? Because in my opinion, you lose half a pound, that is already a half pound less than you were before. All I have to think of, go to a grocery store, find half a pound of butter. You probably get them only by the pound, at least that's where I find. But cut that in half, and that's weight loss. That's fat that your body doesn't have to supply, that you don't have to look out for, that you can just shed and say, you know what, I'm done with you. I don't want to see it anymore. So great job, my dude. Congratulations. Hey, while I got you on here, I asked Sari the same thing. How are you feeling? You got any tips and tricks for me? Because I am always wanting and willing to learn, because learning is, I think, how we're all going to get better. I know less than I don't know. Yes, that made sense. I was just doubting myself. For a week and a half, my weight was the same, but I kept lifting, kept the same diet. Good job. Those plateaus can really kick your butt, just mentally. They can really do a number on you. So really, hats off and kudos to you. Yeah, a week and a half would be really rough. So if you don't mind me asking, how often are you weighing yourself? Is it like a once a day type deal, or are you doing once a week similar to me? Sari's been watching the channel for a while, so she knows mine is once a week strictly. I didn't want to cut calories, rush the process, since I want to keep my strength in the gym. 100%. And that's the thing is, there is a safe way of losing weight, and there is a dangerous way of losing weight. And I can guarantee you, or I can say with relative certainty, that if you start cutting corners and getting stricter and stricter in a dangerous sense, it'll come back to bite you. So this time around, like I was saying, I still have those moments where I have fun and I enjoy myself. I always maintain that caloric deficit. That's my biggest thing that's got me. Once a day in the morning after restroom, 100%. That's a great way to do it. I think my dad swears by the once a day. Honestly, I don't really have skin in the game in this. I just felt like once a week would be just the best way. I used to get discouraged weighing daily, but I learned to trust the process. You know what? Good for you, man. Seriously, good for you. You got to trust it, because if you go in there with all these questions of, and all these insecurities, questions are good, but insecurities, that's what really kind of, I think, starts to wane the confidence. Like you were saying, get discouraged. So yeah, just keep trusting yourself, man, because you're doing well. Losing weight, no matter how much, no matter how little, it is all weight lost. And eventually it will translate to the board. Your board, whether it's on an actual board or up here, it will help you out immensely. One of the things that I had no idea was just doing these live streams and talking to you guys. It just really, it just is such a boost to your self-esteem because I get to talk to great folks like you, and it just, it's a way for me to kind of get off the script a little bit, get off the beaten path, and just kind of talk and just be Thomas, and not Thomas from the Getting My Life Back who's here trying to help everybody. We can just have a conversation, which is great. So thank you both for tuning in very much. This is definitely the kind of thing that really that I need for sure. I'm still very much involved in the exercise, in the running on the spot. Now more and more getting out. Okay, hold on a sec. Once a week is a good measure since normally you're on a 3,500 calorie or more weekly deficit. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say probably around 400. You know, of course, it averages out to about 400 calories. That's where my deficit is right now. And you know, as you guys see, it works. Again, I think we have a tendency, a habit to make things maybe more difficult than it needs to be. And like you say, just trust the process. You know what foods you should be eating. Just get on those scales, whether it's a day, whether it's a week, and the proof, the scales won't lie. Sometimes the batteries will run a little flat and they'll give you weird numbers, but they don't lie. So what I like to do, keep some spare batteries on hand. If it starts to get funky, swap them out, get on there, reach the same number, then you know you're good. But yeah, with the exception of 1 week, which I feel like for, 6.5 months, I think is pretty darn good progress. I think that's a pretty acceptable rate of weight gain. But as I was saying, once I get down to the 175, I'm not going to go back up. It's a goal that I've set myself. And that's one of the things that I think, one of the reasons that I've been so having all these questions about keeping the channel going after the fact. Yeah, you're losing at a good rate. Keep it up, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. That means a lot. Really, it does. I've been really happy with the weight loss. I've had a couple of folks on here, I think more concerned than critical, saying, hey, I think you're losing weight too fast. But the way I see it, again, is how am I feeling? I feel great. I don't feel tired. I don't feel sapped of energy. I don't feel cloudy in my mind. Right now I do, but that's only because I've just come out from going outside. It was hot. I'm tired, probably a little dehydrated, which I will stay hydrated. But yeah, just lost my train of thought there. Yeah, just listening to your body. And so if I ever start to feel like things aren't going 100%, I'll adjust, I'll course correct. But I think it's when you set yourself in that mindset of I'm not going to change. That's when things get dangerous. So I'm really glad to hear that you're losing weight again. I'm glad to hear that your plateau was, quote unquote, please don't take this the wrong way, but only a week and a half. And that we can just all now as a group just come back on together and just get back into it. You men are lucky. Us women, it's not that simple. Okay, sorry, I'm going to get back to your comment. Thank you for that, by the way. Fitness is a lifestyle, so even if you lose it quickly, you're going to be a healthier person to work afterwards in the gym if you want something more aesthetic. Yes, as you can tell, I'm definitely getting into my leaner form. Joking aside, no, I definitely see what you're saying. I'd like to get tone. Tone is kind of like, what is the definition for me? I'm not looking for a huge, I don't want to look like Stallone, but I'd like to just, I'd like to go out onto the beach or out to the lake or out to the river, just feel good about myself. Feel like, hey, this guy looks pretty good. That's kind of my goal, right? If I can get out there and just feel good about myself and hopefully think that other people are thinking, you know what, he looks good. So yeah, that's a great way to think about it. Sorry, you men are lucky. For us women, it is not that simple. I cannot comment to that, because I could start something here. I could get canceled before I even start gaining traction. Sorry, I'm going to take your word for it. If I know anything about what it is like for women, which admittedly is only based on my marriage, it's tough. It's very tough. One of the things I will say, hopefully this isn't controversial, but it is tough on both sides of the fence. And I'm not saying one side is worse than the other because, like I said, I haven't walked a mile in your shoes. But yeah, I can't imagine it being any easier. Let's just put it that way. Um, Losing weight for everybody. I mean, for me, for any obese person out there, for any overweight person out there, you ask them, and if they're honest with you, they'll tell you it is weeks and weeks, if not months and years of bad habits. And changing that is the hardest part, right? We have, especially where I live in America, we have lots of distractions, lots of things that can kind of pluck you off of the good habits and put you in the bad. And so, staying on the straight and narrow. If I see anybody, specifically, I'm a little biased because I'm an American guy. If I see Americans losing weight, I'm like, dang, that is incredible. Again, that might, I hope that doesn't come off wrong, but I know just how many distractions are out there. Just driving home from work, just going out with your family, with your spouse, just by yourself. There's so many places where you can stop and just have a quick bite and that quick bite can be your daily calories, like that. I was looking the other day at fast food joints, at fast food places in the States, because one of my videos was, can you find healthy options and alternatives at places that you love? And of course, there is a reason that there's fast food everywhere. It's because Americans love it. And so I've been looking at a lot of these places, thinking, can I find options that are high in protein, that are lower in calories, that can be good for those cheap meals, that give you that fix, but don't throw you off course. And they're crazy. So let's take a look. I now look at fast food and don't crave it after dieting for months. You know what? You're absolutely right. I get the cravings, 100%. The convenience at my old job got me into the bad habits. Yeah. What was it for you, if you don't mind me asking? For us, it's donuts. I work with a lot of truckers. We have a lot of trucks coming in, and we have some great folks out there on the road. And a lot of them, I think it's because they want to get unloaded quicker. So they'll bring in like a dozen donuts or 2 dozen, and so that's where the willpower really kicks in. I can drive by a lot of fast food places now. Doesn't really bother me. But I'd be lying if I said that I don't get cravings, because they do happen. They do, 100%. And so there is that battle, that struggle every day where I think to myself, is this worth it? Is losing, whether or not it's just an inch, because I feel like construction, always on the road. It's easy to eat it for lunch, but then it comes a craving for dinner. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Gas stations here are a good spot. You get more and more snacks. It is crazy how I would say, at least in my experience, the gas stations have really grown to offer a lot, because it's almost more of an experience, right? You go, at least where I live, we have this thing. It's called Maverick. It's a big chain in kind of at least in my area, in Utah. I think Colorado, it's got a bunch as well, and they have any drink you can imagine. So many snacks, so many foods. They have places like delis where you can get stuff custom made. So that's tough. So, okay, let's take a look here. Only get a sweet tooth now, but luckily I keep myself busy finding recipes for it. You're absolutely right. There is definitely research. You can find healthy alternatives. Turkey burgers, they don't taste as good in my opinion as beef, but they are a very, very good substitute. For example, sorry, toning equals replacing fat with muscle. Looking like Stallone is another thing. Yeah, well, Stallone may have had a little bit of help. I don't wanna make the man mad, because Stallone is an absolute legend. And if you were to watch my videos, I'd say please don't take it the wrong way, because you are what a lot of people strive to look like, and you're a badass. And I'd love an autograph. But yeah, Stallone's a badass. Very cool. How did we get to Stallone? Oh yeah, I brought Stallone up. That's my fault. That's my bad. Yeah, you're right. Toning and muscle. See, the thing is, right? I don't want to, sound crazy here, but I feel that under a lot of this fat, under a lot of all this excess, I have a feeling there's quite a bit of muscle there. I have a very laborious job. Um, I'm lifting lots and lots of heavy product throughout the day. I'm working outside in the yard. I'm working on the she shed, which, sorry, I haven't forgotten about, just so you know. A like you should wait to help tighten things up. Yeah, yeah, you're not the first person to say that. You're definitely not the first person to say that. I don't know how. I don't know how. Kevin, if you can come up with an idea, I'd love to know. One of the things that irks me, one of the things that scares me, I'm not ashamed to admit it, is the idea of setting up a camera in a gym. I see them catch a lot of flack and a lot of heat. And in a lot of ways, I understand because a lot of people are there and they just want to work out and they just want to make themselves better. And so, right now, in terms of the weights, that is the only thing that I can really think of. I've had a couple of ideas playing around. Bought a few dumbbells to start something like 20 pounds. You know what? Yeah, you know what? That's a really good idea, actually. You know what? You're right. That is an excuse. I made an excuse in my head. We're not going to do that. A couple of dumbbells. That won't hurt. So maybe, yeah, do something like dumbbell curls, things like that. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna make a video here in the next couple of weeks. I got my schedule right here. Keep that on hand. Um, so July's looking pretty full, but you know what? That's an excuse as well because there's plenty of days. You know what? Within the next 2 weeks, I'll have a dumbbell video out. And it might not be good. It might not be great. It might be terrible, but we're gonna do it. There's easy at-home routines for 25 minutes to start. You know what? You're absolutely right. Um, Within the next 2 weeks, you know what? I'm going to pencil that or big pen that in right now. We're going to shoot for July 26, 27. The video will probably be filmed before that, but I'm trying to take time and get the quality of my videos up a little bit more. So we're going to do a dumbbell video. Of course, you've also been carrying all that weight. You're absolutely right. It can help refine those shoulders and bicep and make a big difference. Yeah, well, you're right. Absolutely right. I gotta say, in my picture I uploaded of me going swimming, I was taking a look at those shoulders. And I was thinking those are looking pretty good. You know, there's some work to be done, but I was like, dang, those are some bad looking shoulders myself. You know, if we lose what is it? 66 more pounds, I think we can start to see some real tone. But yes, as you can see, just because, again, being honest here, right there, dumbbell video. You're penciled in. So now it's on, it's in paper. We've had a couple of times that we've penciled stuff in. And we've had we tried to get some of the viewers on the live here to kind of, because we've had a few saying, hey, like one of them saying, hey, I'd love to go to the gym. And I said, let's do it. And let's check back in a week later. Unfortunately, she didn't check in. You know what? That's fine. No worries. But I'm going to guarantee to do my bit. So we're going to make a dumbbell video. And it's going to be uploaded. I'm not going to say it's going to be awesome, but we're going to do it. And we're going to give it the old college try. Kevin has some really good points. Sorry, always with the encouragement. I like it. Thank you, my dear. Please keep it up. Yeah, encouragement, that is exactly what I need. That's what a lot of folks out there need right now. It is definitely a time where a lot of us could use some just extra kind words for sure, and motivation, which is one of the reasons why I always like to try and keep a positive atmosphere going here on the channel, because we're all getting through some stuff in one way or another. Right now, it's one of those times, and everything's about to get hotter, so yeah. People ain't happy when they're too hot, so we're gonna spread that positivity. So yeah, thank you very much. We're at 43 minutes right now for this live. I feel like it's gone very well so far. You know what? We're gonna add a couple more minutes, maybe bring it up to 50, and then I'm gonna go back into the living room and do some running on the spot. That has been great for me. Honestly, the running on the spot has made me feel really good. It's cool in there. I can get something good on the TV, and I can just get the blood pumping. I've been outside walking, running a little bit. I still need to get the self-confidence with that built up, because what I'll do is I'll be outside, I'll be running along the street. If I see a car coming, and then I'll slow down, a little bit self-conscious. I shouldn't be, because most people are supportive. Most people are very good, contrary to what a lot of people will tell you they are. So I've got to just get in the habit of just not caring what other people think. It's a lot easier said than done. For me, at least. So, but yes, I will work on that for sure. It's a good time. It's a good time right now. How tall are you, man? If you don't mind. Yeah, so I'm 5'8". Hopefully, you say you're construction. You sound American. Hopefully, 5'8". You know that. 5'8", pretty average height. Yeah, 5'8", 241 at the last weigh in. Hopefully now hovering right around the 240. I'm not getting on the scales. I made that commitment once a week. So yeah, 5'8". Yeah. How tall are you? Just throwing that out there, if you don't mind. Yeah, because I like to hear from you folks. I've had some great comments on the videos. Yeah, not bad, man. Good job. Thank you very much. I've had some folks on here give me really good long comments where they kind of share a lot about themselves, go into detail about their height, their weight, the specifics, and that's really good for me because then I can kind of draw comparisons. You know, some people are in the 6 foot plus range, and so yeah, I didn't get uncomfortable running until I got down to 215. I understand that feeling. Yeah. 5'11". Okay, so yeah, so we're pretty close. In the dating world, 5'11", 5'8". That's a big difference. But man to man, 5'8", 5'11". We're pretty darn close. Good job, man. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Yeah, I expect to be pretty similar about the running thing. But we're just gonna get out there and we're just gonna make things happen because good things happen to those that get out there and just try. That's my philosophy. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we've been seeing here. And I've been keeping everything. I try and keep it a neat place, but sometimes my desk right now, I've got papers from my doctor's visits. I've got some video stuff here. I try and keep everything. Yeah, I didn't know how and learn how to run. It is weird. I understand actually exactly what you're talking about because I've learned through watching. There's a guy, damn it, Austin Alexander on YouTube. He's a fitness buff. He was in the Navy, and now he's out. He makes YouTube videos, I think, full time, and so he does a lot of challenges, and he does very close work with the military. He's got over 1 million subs, which is good for him. But yeah, and he does things like one of his videos was I completed the Catalina Marathon with zero training, and I was like, yeah, dude. I mean, look at you. You're like your whole life is training. That is yeah. So I watch people like him, and I think and when I'm watching, I'm learning. I'm learning it how he's moving, how he's exercising, how his legs are moving, how his arms are moving. And, while right now I might look like a penguin out there waddling around, but it gets better. I kept getting shin splints when I was heavier, so kept doing weights instead. Okay. Please excuse my ignorance. What are shin splints? I don't mind. I don't mind asking, throwing a hand up and saying I have no idea what that is. Would you mind sharing what that is? Because I'd like to know. So if you wouldn't mind, that would be great. Because I don't know what those are. I haven't used them. I would assume you might tell me and I'd be like, oh yeah, no, I've actually used them, but I don't think I have. But yeah, it's weird because I've always been bigger. And I always used to be lazy. Like on the weekends, I could sit and I could watch movies for hours, do all that kind of stuff. It's like the bottom front of your leg when you run, it burns. It's like, oh, it burns like pulling. Okay, all right, I gotcha. Okay, understood. Yeah, thank you for sharing that because now I know something. We're learning, people. See, this is what I was talking about. Learning, that's good. Okay. But now it's better. So I'm really glad to hear that. I think it's because in proper form and the weight landing on the legs. Yeah. For me, there's a lot of weight landing on those legs. Still, again, not a negative. It's just the way it is. I'm still 240 pounds. That's a big chunk of weight. I was looking at my BMI chart. I've never printed it out. I just grab it off of the computer when I put it into my videos. And I was looking at my BMI. I've had a lot of people go back and forth about the BMI thing. It's legit, it's not, whatever. Walking 10K steps does wonders instead. Yeah, I'm actually trying very hard to get that. I think right now, excuse me, I think I'm about 85 to 9,000. It's difficult because the iPhone doesn't track as well. I used to have a watch, but then my old job, I couldn't wear it because I was out on the floor a lot. So I'm actually getting one of those here pretty soon for the for the marathon. It's not a marathon, it's 5K. So I've been getting into that. So hopefully that'll get me a little bit closer, a little bit more accurate. Why 10,000? Sorry, I actually don't know. Kevin will probably have to respond to you with that. But I hear a lot. That's kind of the golden number. Like 10,000, like that's what I hear all the time. Whether it's on weight loss vlogs, whether that's on health channels, whether that's on men's fitness. I've read 10,000. That's like the golden number. I believe, shoot me down if I'm wrong. I believe that is the healthy. Why 10,000? It's not. Period. Ooh. Did I upset? Did I offend? I'm sorry. It's quiet now. I'm waiting to see how this plays out. It's just my personal. 8,000 is enough for most people. Oh, okay. So I learned something new today. Okay. Sorry. See, I am sorry. Sorry. I have read that 10,000 is a lot. That 10,000 is kind of a number that I should be shooting for. And so what I can do, maybe I can share some article, but again, like it's all personal preference. I've lost all this weight without reaching 10,000 steps a day. You know, it's also like people saying you should drink. No, it doesn't have to be that much. See, again, I learn something new every day. Yeah, again, hearing what you're saying, it makes sense because I haven't been doing 10,000 steps a day and the weight's been coming off. So you can't paint with a broad brush. That's something that I'm starting to really learn. Is a lot of these estimates are they're just that they're estimates. Walking 10,000 steps probably ain't gonna hurt. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, everyone's got their own thing. It's like the drinking water. Yeah, there was this big craze a couple years ago about people buying those huge water bottles that have, oh, you should have this much drunk by this time, and it's like a really big number. And so what I kind of thought very early on was you can't expect a person who is underweight or a person who is morbidly obese or a person who is 6'7". You can't expect them to all have the same water intake. It just doesn't make sense. That doesn't ring true to me. So yeah, no, sorry. What you say is you make a good point, but yeah, no, I've read a lot about the 10,000 steps a day. So yeah, maybe that's just a bogus number. You're probably right. Sorry. Good looking out. So yeah, we're at a good spot here. I'm gonna let you guys I can't let you guys continue, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream because I feel like we've got some good ground covered today. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you very much. Sorry, and Kevin, you guys have both been fantastic. Thank you guys for tuning in, for sharing your thoughts. Sorry, I'm going to do a little bit more research on that. And Kevin, dumbbell video, I promise you, my dude, we're going to get this done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. And there's no secret to getting a lot of steps. There's no secret. You're absolutely right. Okay, guys, before this goes any further, I'm going to cut you off and say sayonara, take care, and have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.